found out the schedule for the NBA's group play for their own in-season tournament, the way that teams will have to go about trying to get their own NBA Cup. And here is what it looks like for the Grizzlies. They will start their path in Portland against the Blazers on Friday, November 3rd. Then they have a home game against Utah on Friday, November 10th, at the Lakers on November 14th, and then they'll finish up at home against the Suns on November 24th. All those games will be on Bally's. The game against the Suns will also be on NBA TV. And a reminder of how it works: 8 teams will advance to the knockout rounds. Every group play winner, so of the 6 groups, the team that finishes first in each of those groups will advance, and then 2 wild cards, one from each conference, whoever had the best record but finished second in their group. So you look at it from the Grizzlies standpoint, there's some good teams in their group. Between the Suns, the Jazz made some additions this offseason. Obviously, the Blazers are a big questionable hole with all the drama going on with Damian Lillard. And then, of course, getting to go to Los Angeles and play against the Lakers will be big
is that
as
game
well.
In L.A.?
It is in L.A. And a little bit of the... I don't want to already come through with a Dillon Brooks nostalgia, but what will we do without Dillon Brooks to really drive the point home of the Grizzlies-Lakers hate?
Probably win the game.
Probably win the game.
What do you want?
No extra shenanigans there. It is a bummer because I don't think Ja Morant will be back by the time that this in-season tournament is going on for the Grizzlies, but it is still cool. And there was a conversation that Bobby Marks brought up yesterday that I found intriguing. I don't necessarily agree with it, but he pondered the notion of to make this worth more. And it is worth quite a bit. Like, the winning team of the NBA Cup gets $500,000 in it. That's a lot of money. It's an insane amount of money for plebeians like us, but it's still a ton of money for NBA players, especially because every single player on that bench gets $500,000. So it's not just the superstars, it's the ones down at the end of the bench as well. But he questioned, should the winner of the NBA Cup get an automatic bid to the playoffs? Here's why this doesn't work for me. Take the Lakers, for example. You go, you win the in-season tournament, you hoist the NBA Cup in December, and then you rest LeBron and AD for the rest of the regular season. Load management would be out of control for whatever team won the NBA Cup, and they could rest, get healthy, stay ready up until those playoffs begin. And I just don't think that fits in with the anti-load management sentiment that the NBA consistently is trying to trend towards instead.
What about, no matter what, if you win the tournament, you get one of the slots in the play-in?
In the play-in?
In the play-in.
I don't hate that.
No matter what.
Maybe
at the very least. So if you get the 6th seed,
you're
in the
6th seed.
But if you win the tournament and you're a 13 seed, 14 seed, like, hey, you can get into the play-in.
I like that. But also then what does that do for a team that could tank and then fortify their draft position, but then also play in the play-in tournament?
Hey, if they go through the play-in, you're in the back of the play-in. You're the last team into the play-in.
You got to win 2 games to make it in the playoffs. 2 games
and then get into the playoffs. Like, hey, good for you.
I like that they should be guaranteed if they make the playoffs, they get home court advantage. So even if you're a lower seed,
so
if you won the NBA
even if you're the 8th seed, the 1 seed is now. Okay. All right.
Just
I like
switch it up a little bit.
I like this.
Put a little chaos on it. I know some people are still not sold on the idea of an in-season tournament. I think it's fun. The games count towards the regular season outside of the championship game, which at that point you're playing for a championship and there's already something to play for. But as long as these are games that would be played anyway, to add some added spice onto them, it's a win for me.
We're seeing in sports and across sports, these in-season tournaments work. They just do. We wouldn't be talking about the MLS this week if not for the Leagues Cup. We wouldn't be hot and heavy into the WNBA without the Commissioner's Cup. They do it overseas and in their soccer leagues as well. This is going to be good. This is going to be fun. You have to be creative with it from an NBA marketing standpoint. You have to find a way to get the fans to start caring about it. But let's be honest. Let's be clear about this. We only care about a lot of this stuff because our fathers, our grandfathers cared about it before we came along. All of this was new at one point, and nobody cared when it was new. The newness has to wear off a little bit, and then the tradition sets in. And that's what we really like. We really like the tradition of sports. We like the tradition of Lakers v Celtics. We like that sort of thing. And so once the tradition sets in 10, 15 years, everybody will love it. It'll be the only thing that we will talk about in the early part of the season is, it is League Cup night. Here we go, everybody. Get to your TVs. We got to watch it. We love events. You got to find a way to make this event. You got to find a way to make these games events. And because there's only 4 of them, it kind of is. It is. It's not 82 regular season games. It's only 4 of these games to determine the seeding and determine whether or not you get to the knockout round. And then in the knockout round, that's not a 7-game series. That is a regular-ass tournament. And we go crazy for tournaments, man. We love us some March Madness. Give us a 16 versus 1. Give it to us. So give us this. We'll love it in a couple of years.
Call it a tournament, and we get real excited. Especially someone in the chat pointed out that the Grizzlies game against the Suns, that's the day after Thanksgiving. That's perfect tournament time, peak tournament time for everybody to be a little tired the day after eating all your turkey and roll in.
It is perfect. And that is so
right?
good.
It's brilliant.
You're getting the leftover Thanksgiving meal before or after, or hell, even during some of these college football rivalries.
Oh, the college football rivalries. You get this in the midst of the end of the college football season. And then the way it's situated for the semifinals and the championship game, I believe it's December 7th and December 9th. So then you're sitting right in that sweet spot before bowl season. We're stacked. As fans of all sports, this just adds.
And by all sports, we mean
football and basketball.